Hey everybody, welcome to Wager Talk TV. Scott Spreitzer here with Matt Holt of CGT Sportsbooks in Las Vegas. Man under the hat is Dave Koch, and you know him well. He's at WagerTalk.com now also. Big matchup we're talking about on Sunday's NFL slate with the Packers traveling to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, and it looks like no Ty Montgomery in all likelihood for Green Bay, and that offensive line, especially a tackle, still really banged up. A lot of guys questionable up front on the offensive line. Matt, you guys opened Dallas a 2.5-point home favorite. What has been the action thus far midweek as we talk about this game?
I think a little bit of overreaction and a little bit of probably understanding where Dallas's defense is at, but a lot of heavy action on Green Bay here for a couple of reasons. A, they look so good on Thursday night against the Bears, despite missing Brian Beluga and the other offensive alignment for that game. And yet now they have the extra rest. They come in prepared again. This is a team that, outside of Ty Montgomery, should only get healthier at other key positions. And on the other side of the ball, I think, you know, a lot of us that really watch and understand football knew this Dallas defense, especially that secondary, was in trouble coming into the year. Now with the injuries and the shuffling in and out they've had, this may be arguably one of the three worst secondaries in all of football right now. And having a bad secondary go against the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers, always a recipe for disaster at the betting windows. We expect to probably take pretty heavy Green Bay action in this one.
Dave, I'm looking at the Dallas numbers offensively, defensively. They're middle of the pack on both sides of the football. I mean, their numbers right now are basically that of a 500 team, and guess what? They're a 500 team. Yeah. They're 2-2. But you look at Dak Prescott. Last year he throws 4 interceptions the entire season. He's got 3 in 4 games this year. His completion percentage from 68% down to about 61% through the first 4 games. He's missing some easy throws. Any long-term concern for you about Dak Prescott?
Well, I think the league was going to catch up to him to some extent, and he'll have to make the adjustments now and improve his game in certain ways, and I think that Dak will do that. Now, I'm not necessarily saying he's going to do it right away.
Sure.
It's a process, but this guy looks like a quarterback who's a keeper. He's not a guy who I think, you know, an RG3 type who had a spectacular year and then just completely fell apart. And it wasn't just the injuries with RG3. He got exposed and couldn't adjust. I think Prescott's a better football player than that, and I think he's surrounded by better football players as well. You know, what's really interesting about this game to me is that we're now in a situation where you're going to have, I believe, the public on the dog here, as Matt was explaining, because the Packers looked so good and the Rams did a number on the Cowboys. And yet, I watched that Cowboys-Rams game, and I still saw some positive things out of the Cowboys. Number one, they weren't hanging their heads at any point in the game. The offense was still doing a good job in putting together drives. The defense just didn't stop the Rams, and I think the Rams are catching people by surprise right now. To me, where the line is now, actually, I think there's some value on the Dallas side. Now, I'm not going to say it's one of my top plays this week because it isn't, but a field goal or less on their home field in a game that now I think kind of falls into the early season must-win category, I'd have to look at the Dallas Cowboys here.
Well, we've kind of made it official then with Dave Koch, and I was going to ask you real quickly before we wrap it up, when it comes to Green Bay, you know, you can run on this football team. You might not be able to throw on Green Bay. At least the statistics say that you struggle if you try to, but you can run the football. So is this kind of a case, Matt, for you of maybe just what the doctor ordered for this Dallas offense to get back on track?
Sure, and look at Aaron Rodgers. Despite all the success he's had in the league, he has some fairly unfavorable road versus home splits. He's not the same quarterback on the road that he is at home. The only thing that worries me about this game is the extra time to prepare here. I do think that means something, especially for a team that's banged up. If they can get one of those offensive linemen back, that sure will mean a lot for the Green Bay Packers this week. Dave
Koch, man under the hat, says he's leaning towards the Dallas Cowboys on this one, and I'm kind of going that way too right now as of midweek, and I'm not going to change my mind. It's either going to be on the Dallas Cowboys or staying away from the football game itself, but I do like the fact that they should be able to run against Green Bay, and maybe that helps out Dak Prescott a little bit with his accuracy, getting back up to where he was last year. Don't forget, you can get a 7-day all-access package for $99 from the handicapper of your choice at WagerTalk.com right now. 7-day all-access, $99. Stick around. More videos to come right here on Wager Talk TV.